It's MonsterVerse, baby. 2017's Kong Skull Island is in many ways the formal start to the MonsterVerse. While 2014's Godzilla was the first film released, it was made as a standalone movie with the hopes of becoming a trilogy. But upon the film's success, and Legendary's recent acquisition of a pseudo-prequel script to Peter Jackson's King Kong, the idea for the MonsterVerse was formed, and with the addition of director Jordan Vogt-Roberts and Godzilla 2014 writer Max Bornstein stepping in alongside a few other writers, the cinematic universe as we know it was born. Under the guidance of Vogt-Roberts, the film was transformed into a 1970s period piece that is equal parts Apocalypse Now, Shadow of the Colossus, and of course, King Kong. The story begins in 1944, when two soldiers, one from the United States and one from Japan, crash land on a remote island where they soon encounter Kong, the eighth wonder of the world. We then arrive in 1973, where we find the MonsterVerse's main tether, the Monarch organization, on the brinks of collapse. In a desperate attempt to prove that monsters exist as a way to save their organization, Bill Randa and Houston Brooks are able to convince a senator to allow them an expedition to the recently discovered via satellite Skull Island. Anticipating the danger that awaits them, Randa arranges for them to have a military escort under the lead of Colonel Packard, and recruits James Conrad, a former captain of the SAS, as a tracker to help them in case things go wrong. Finally, a reporter named Mason Weaver joins the expedition alongside Landsat, and we are off to Skull Island. After traveling through the intense storm system that has surrounded Skull Island for centuries, the Sky Devils begin to drop explosives that act as seismic charges, allowing Monarch to discover that the island sits atop a hollowed pocket of Earth. Responding to the damage being caused, and in order to protect the island, King Kong appears and wipes out the helicopters in one of the most energetic and well-executed action sequences in the entire MonsterVerse. In the aftermath, the survivors find themselves separated and stranded on the island, all united by the goal to reach the northern point in 3 days so they can make their planned extraction. Along their journey, they discover that danger lurks around every corner as they encounter a series of monsters in all shapes, sizes, and levels of danger. Eventually, the group led by Conrad encounters a tribe of natives called the Iwi and are introduced to Hank Marlowe, the US soldier who was stranded on the island during World War II and who has lived with the Iwi for nearly 30 years. Conrad's crew learns that Kong is the king of the island and is actually a protective force for good, who keeps nature's balance and protects the island from the invasive skullcrawler species that lives below. Packard's men reunite with Conrad's and they head out in search of a lost soldier named Jack Chapman, whose helicopter has enough weaponry for Packard to kill Kong. This leads them to a boneyard, where they're attacked by the skullcrawler that killed Chapman. Packard's intentions to kill Kong cause a divide between the groups. His soldiers lay a trap for Kong, leading into a fearsome showdown. But before Packard can kill Kong, Conrad, Weaver, and Marlowe stop the soldiers and de-escalate the situation, only to be interrupted by the big one, the massive skullcrawler who killed Kong's parents and who is considered the devil of the island. The Skull Devil sends the men running for safety as Kong kills Packard, kicking off the final battle, where the Skull Devil hunts the humans and battles Kong to the death in a brilliant action sequence full of exciting twists and turns, a wonderful integration of the humans into the danger, and intense and emotional beats that round out what is one of the best kaiju fight scenes ever put to film. Kong's rapid, efficient, and intelligent fighting style is contrasted against the speed, agility, and power of the Skullcrawlers. The human cast is able to serve both as obstacles in the final battle and opponents in it, turning the tides of war during crucial moments. Eventually, Kong gains the upper hand and pulls off a top 2 MonsterVerse finisher move with the iconic deboweling of the Skull Devil, saving the day and allowing the survivors to return home. This leads into a beautiful epilogue where Marlowe is reunited with his family, and then a post-credits stinger, setting up the upcoming war between Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. Kong Skull Island is by all filmmaking standards the absolute peak of the MonsterVerse. Vogt-Roberts' commitment to location shooting across Australia, Hawaii, and most importantly, Vietnam lead to one of the most beautiful, visually rich, and awe-inspiring blockbuster films ever made. The incredible cinematography cinematography by Larry Fong, brilliant color palette, fantastic art direction, incredible action choreography, inventive monsters and scares, genuine sense of stakes and tension, and electric music, both licensed and composed by the legendary Henry Jackman, build out my favorite film of the decade. The A-list cast all deliver memorable and nuanced performances with both compelling leads and, at times, an even more scene-stealing and heartfelt side cast. The simple story that slowly narrows in scale over time as we learn about the island, the threats that lie below, and focus in on the emotional core of Hank Marlowe's story moves with an efficiency and grace that most films struggle to achieve, while still allowing for truly emotional moments and reveals. Packard's war against Kong is exciting and engaging in ways the MonsterVerse often struggles to achieve with its human casts, and contrasts wonderfully with the heart of the film. Hank Marlowe's simple desire to allow the island's natural balance to maintain itself and to return home to his family. The authentic sense of stakes created through effectively timed kills and creature reveals allows the audience to truly engage in the characters' stories on a level that many other films don't achieve. The location filming adds a level of authenticity to the movie and grounds the film in a real environment that helps to build out the sense of scale for the creatures and characters. It leads to the cast being sweaty, dirty, and often wet in ways that aren't easily replicated in studios, creating a tangibility to the film that aids its sense of scale and tension when the monsters eventually do turn up. Despite featuring the smallest titan in the MonsterVerse, surrounded by even smaller super species, the legitimacy this movie has built through its locations, set design, and stakes, all helped through wonderful cinematography and framing, make the monsters in this film feel larger than they ever will again in subsequent MonsterVerse releases. Despite being the true jumping off point for the now booming cinematic universe, Kong Skull Island is never bogged down in the weight of having to carry a franchise on its back. The film introduces some general retcons and lore reveals that help to flesh out the broader MonsterVerse, but that never distracts from the central goal to tell a fantastic self-contained story. Kong Skull Island is a film that is firing on all cylinders. It is dynamic and exciting while also being emotionally rich and engaging. The film is full of exciting Easter eggs, wonderful world building, and thematic weight that help to support it on rewatches. The rewatchability is also helped by the amazing pacing and lively cast. Kong Skull Island is incredibly directed and shot with both a compelling human story and an amazing kaiju story. Kong is an instant favorite, with a mystery and intrigue surrounding him that is peeled back just enough for us to see him as the wonderfully lonely, fearsome, and caring creature he is underneath it all. Of all of the MonsterVerse films, this one creates a balance between preserving the Titans' godlike status and mystery while giving them genuine characterizations better than any other film. This film is topped with amazing special effects and a soundtrack that is thrilling and memorable. I will never forget the exhilarating feeling of watching this film in IMAX for the first time, and I expect that Kong Skull Island will retain its spot as my favorite film in the MonsterVerse for years to come. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons that I'm able to continue to make videos like this for you guys, and by supporting the Patreon, that is the most direct way to support this channel. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below, where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man, out.